Mainstreet, guys.
So over the last few videos,
That we've all been chasing.
So look, we were looking at Kalala, we looked at Schleich boots.
Like what we're trying to do with our consignment store. Have with us something and the fact that. Welcome back to Mainstreet, guys. Today we're again all the way here in New York City, halfway around the world. We're here exploring street fashion culture, sneaker culture, meeting cool people. And amongst some of the really cool people I've met while here was Roy, who founded HRY Space, which I think we define as an art collective, street fashion store, a creative space in which we see street fashion and academic art cohabitate in a certain manner. It's very offbeat. It brings a totally different perspective from most different spaces that I've seen. And it's been an incredible experience just here and learning from you, being around here, man. It's been awesome. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you for interviewing me. And I've been following what you guys are doing for quite a while. And also I love what you guys stand for, the Mainstreet TV, where you guys are promoting the kind of young culture. I think I'm also international, where we think this kind of young culture is truly happening in every country. And I think you guys are an embodiment of what's happening in your country.
In
so
India.
I really like what you guys are doing.
Appreciate it. So I want to start to figure out way back with, so the other day when I attended your panel discussion, the first question that you brought out was, what brought you to New York?
Yes.
So since the culture that you embody here comes a lot from what New York is, I want to know what brought you to New York.
So what brought me to New York actually, it's very simple. It's because my school. I graduated from NYU Stern, and that's a school in New York City. And I first came from Beijing, China, and then moved to Boston for boarding school. And then after I applied to college, I want to go to a space. I think I want to go to a place where there's a lot of action. Because when you were 16, 17, when we were back in our age, that's already where you want to decide what kind of track you want to go for. For me, my passion is in finance and also in art. And where's the capital for the both things in the United States? And that's New York City. So it's truly, I think, very simple for me to be here.
Finance and art.
Finance art. And then when I got here, especially NYU, what amazed me that, man, a block away, there's a world-class gallery. 2 blocks away, that's another big firm's headquarters. So it's truly a lot of opportunity, a lot of access. And I think that was made me in New York. And then I want to stay here this is kind of like my second permanent home besides Beijing.
So when you first moved here, what was the culture like? What did you see it as? How did you get into it?
I think when I first moved here, I think for the culture I see among the young culture, I would say everywhere is basically today is kind of the same. Especially New York is a metropolis, just like Beijing, just like Mumbai. So it's gonna be very, fast-paced. And also people here, just like in any big city, people here tend to mind their own business. So I think the culture in New York will be very independent. And also, I think that's what brings the art culture here and the fashion culture here, where you see a lot of this fashion designer artists in New York, they tend to be very resilient than other places. Because people know you're gonna make it in New York.
So how did you slowly find your way towards building something of this sort when it's so different?
So after I graduated from NYU Stern, I first pursued a track in finance, doing investing here and there, helping out family business. And then I realized that with our family are known collector from China, and then while we're building our art collection, I saw there's a gap between how the art is defined by the older generation versus how the art is defined by us, by the younger people. And why would I say that is that with a lot of media platform.
And by art, you mean a lot more than just even the clothing, even the sneakers.
I think I think there's a separation. When I say art is mostly artworks that's suitable to be sold in a gallery setting, to be a white box.
Anything from a
sculpture, painting, edition. Even you see a lot of Brian Connolly, the printed edition or silk screen. I view this kind of cushion and clothing, they're essentially the art derivatives They're sort of, like they're the extension of art.
Another
So-
platform to
Yeah, so
distribute it.
I see a lot is that what young people like, what young people consider as great artists, in the traditional fine art world, people might not think so. And I view that gap as very serious because art reflects our society, art reflects the community. And that's what happens with contemporary art in the 1990s with guys like Marcel Duchamp. They're redefining art.
Yeah.
And I view today a lot of the artists presented in this room, they're also redefining the art for our current age, in really a digital age for which everyone is hyper connected, where everything you make, a story you make right now in here, can be viewed in Mumbai, Beijing, at the same time. It's just unlike the previous traditional fine art for which you need to go to a gallery opening on a Saturday night to see art. Now you see an artist, they post an art edition, man, like millions of people see no matter where they are. It's truly something that's very, very new. And because of being new, the traditional gatekeepers will be afraid. They may think it's strange.
Yeah.
But this
Like
is
you were
where
telling me earlier, a lot
Yeah.
of these new age artists in the art world, they're not looked upon as
They're-
very high end.
they're not looked upon. I think use the other word other than high end. Use the word as blue chip.
They're
In
not
art,
blue
when you
chip.
talk about it's like casino, like the blue chip are the big ballers.
Okay.
Same thing in the art world. People talk about are you blue chip?
Okay.
So yeah, like a lot of these contemporary artists, they're not considered as blue chip. You know
Yeah.
why? Because I think it goes back to who's loving this artist. Because in the traditional art world, I can talk this very openly. Like to be considered as a blue chip artist, you need multiple museum support, and the collectors who have really good relationship with the museums. And then for all these artists like who are very new, but they got a lot of support from the young people, but not from
Not from older
the older collector.
they
They
have the real money.
yeah, they do not grow up with this kind of culture. Like 98% of them don't know about high beast or high snobbery. So it's very strange for them to know how their grandson is spending $2,000 on a pair of shoes.
Coming from
Yeah.
India, for example, like we personally, even though I don't, but since
Yeah.
I work in this space,
Yeah.
most people who I introduce, like even our business to,
Yeah.
they're always like, "What? Like, what is this?"
Yeah.
They're always so like shocked at the
Yeah.
idea of forget people buying, of us having the guts to sell,
Yeah,
of
exactly.
having the idea of.
I
wanting to
think
sell.
I grew up from boarding school in Boston. Like I said, I have a lot of my Indian friends who are from London. Like
Yeah.
they all like back. Funny story. Back in 2013, yeah, they're all very dapper. I use the word dapper. Everybody in the summer, like
Everyone wants to-
you're gonna loafer it out, man. You're
Yeah.
gonna loafer polo and then the whole, the whole setup. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna have the whole setup, and then
And now it's pretty-
now it's changing. Like
pretty
2017, the
black,
same group I saw, like I was back then, I was also 3-piece. Like summer, you're gonna go 3-piece with the Italian, there's like same fabric, goes 3-piece. But now, everyone's changing. Even with my age, like a lot of banker, a lot of like investment guys, now no one wears loafer anymore. If you don't wear off-white, go to a board meeting, you're not cool. Like you're not considered as edgy anymore. So I think truly something very interesting is happening to our generation because we're gradually growing up and
Yeah.
we're kind of like having more voice to dictate like what should be mainstream.
So where do you see this kind of art develop and get appreciated? Who do you see developing into blue chip artists? from
yeah,
this space?
I won't name drop a lot of
Okay.
people, but I would say like I view this art as a, like I said before, art represents our time. And I view this artists, guys like Virgil Abloh, Daniel Arshan, or Takashi Murakami, they're truly representing our time in the social media age. How we view the media, what's the rule of media in our life. For example, if you guys see this piece by Virgil, like the black canvas, later you can see by Virgil Abloh, it may look like an empty black canvas, but down below they have a label called JC Decor. JC Decor is one of the largest billboard brands. So you go outside, you see a lot of those billboards, that's by JC Decor. So basically Virgil here is trying to challenge us to see what's the role of media in our life. That what is a good sell? Like, do you sell by the visual message or do you sell by what you call underlying message, the subtle message? So it's truly, when you analyze what he's talking about, it's actually way beyond hoodie, way beyond the sweatpants.
Yeah. And that's why it's worth it.
Yeah, a lot of it, this is why it's really worth discussing. And a lot of, right now you see a lot of traditional art critics begin to discuss this. I think the time still take a couple years, like 5 to 10 years, but you never know how to say that. Like same with Jackson Pollock. If we drop a name, that's the OG, you know, the GOAT. Like Jackson Pollock and Roy Lichtenstein, the guy who drew the pop art, when they first get in the scene, people thought they were crazy. People don't view them as art. People was like, where's my Monet's at? Where's my Picasso at? I don't view this drip painting as art. Yeah. And then gradually you see it takes around 10, 20, 30 years for which you gradually, this guy build up a group of collector, and then this group of collector makes a collective voice. They create essentially their own version of media. But their media is not today's website. Their media is their art review magazine. You're passing out the voice. Like I forgot in the religious, there was a word for that. Like you're passing out this holy voice and try to influence people. When it's only one people in the game, whereas one people follows the religion, it may not work. But when the economy scale kicks in, when you have 1,000 people passing on the same message, the more you say it, it becomes the truth, and then become irrefutable, and then it become defined into art history. And that's what we're seeing today with guys like Virgil Abloh, but it's just happening at a very faster pace.
Because of social media.
Because of social media, it's insane. So we have a wide range of product from the fashion clothing, a lot of fashion pieces like gonna represent what I want to see in my brand. That's like a lot of my sort of like frustration with certain brands. For example, I don't like, for our hoodie, it's gonna be very thick. Like it's gonna be very thick yet lightweight, because I don't like some hoodie you put in the dry wash machine, it's gone. Like it's shrinked into like the paper. Like it's sometimes funny. And also we're gonna put a lot of my philosophy into the clothing we make. Like luckily I have a very strong team. A lot of the designers who support us from the best design school, they're willing to work for us because our young people, like they feel like together we can make a collective voice. So another thing I really promote is healthy lifestyle. So we're also gonna do a lot of like the healthy sort of like organic food as well as like healthy supplements. That's another big thing I feel like I want to sort of like create a change. And the last part will be a lot of like designer items such as the furnitures as well as like little accessories. I want something that's functional while having that aesthetic at the same time. So that's where this is why we're not in a rush for the product. We want to have this community first, like when people know what we represent. I truly believe in serendipity, which in a sense is truly, you build things truly spontaneously. Like you do things without putting in effort. But if you look beyond that, you realize everything you do was well calculated. Everything you do, just like a lot of brands we like Fear of God. Yeah. When your word is truly chill, but you look at the detail, the fabric truly is something else. It's really, really good.
Even the design.
Yeah, design, everything. It's just the little details that almost say half lazy, but at the same time very luxury.
You're also on the directors council at
Museum Modern Art. Yeah,
Museum Modern Art. That's huge. How?
That's mostly come from support of my family.
Okay.
Like we supported the museum, the museum system as a patron, because we really our family really appreciates the program at Museum Modern Art. They're sort of like not only as one of the best museums in the world, but also they have one of the most diverse programs to support artists globally. Like they find emerging artists all over the world and invite them to New York to do a residency program. So we just want to be a part of the contribute. So I'm just fortunate to be with that group of like the people who are more experienced than me, to learn from them like how to navigate the art world.
What did you have from like the few like so many brilliant artists have even been to this space? Like I mean, amongst even including Virgil himself was here. He did this entire artwork himself. How is the conversation with them? What is their opinion on these kind of things?
So I think their opinion on this kind of things is very open to this because like for them, even the kind of like the best artists you see with today's gallery system is that a lot of times the exhibition can only last 2 to 3 months. But artists at our space, some of the pieces are essentially here for the next 1 to 2 years or even more. So we have this kind of like New York space for this artist to know that their pieces are taken care of. Their pieces are shown to public without a cost, like during our entry, like without a cost. So the artists are very supportive of us, and we cannot say thank you enough to them. So no matter the brand big or small, like some of the local clothing brands, feel free to come in. Like, and then they're bringing their friend, and then the friend come in. They know this place is very welcoming. And they know like this place welcomes them. So we kind of get this reputation going on. So the network effect, because we have a physical outpost here, more and more people coming. So we're gonna, even though during the day, in the morning hour, there may not be a lot of visitors, but I think online in the community, people know us and people have all but the best words for us. So then you have this community that's built on kindness. That's still echoes back to our mission statement in a way.
I think my last question would be, where do you see HRY go in the next 4 or 5 years?
I view it growing, sort of like grow at the same time as I grow, because I view it, the brand is a part extension of myself. As I'm more mature with my art collection, as I'm more mature with the things I want to see in my life, we're gonna release a series of products as well as the conversation revolving around sort of like what I want to do, what I want to navigate the world, and also I share this in process with my community. What we try to convey through our brand is just a positive message to, like, yeah, there are definitely demons, the kind of like best stuff out there, but you can choose the good stuff as well. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing you in India sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely gonna stop by when you stop by. Definitely gonna say hi.
100% awesome, dude.